So, Reid, you did this great exercise at Sex to Next Deep Dive that I thought would be really fun to share here.
Okay. The chances are I don't remember what it was.
I know, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
And then you can explain it.
Cathy takes good notes when I teach things.
Well, you teach good stuff. This is Reid Mahako from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy Bartulli from the intimacydojo.com.
So you had us do a writing exercise. You said, if I had a breakthrough in blank, whatever it is that's holding you back, I would probably have better sex. So do you want to talk more about it? Do you remember that now?
No. Was that on the first day or the last day?
It was the second day.
Second day. Okay.
Yeah. Which was the last.
Which was the last day. Got it.
So, no, it was just like you let people choose what it was. And for me, it was courage or confidence. One was confidence. Then I would have better sex. And then we wrote out why. And then you had some of us share it. And I thought that was really powerful. So I'm curious if you're listening, if you had a breakthrough around blank, whatever holds you back from good sex, what would your sex life be like? How would your sex be better? Because I think we all have blanks. We have I tend to be shy. I tend to hold back. And if I was feeling confident, then I would be much more engaged and direct about what I wanted, not apologizing for my needs and wants, which I think would be more fun for everybody.
Probably.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what are your, if people want to share, in the comments below, what is your thing that holds you back and how would your sex life be better if you had a breakthrough around that?
Another thing to notice is often sex is a microcosm of all relationship dynamics, and I believe this goes for anonymous sex as well, and long-term relationships around sex where, if you identify that thing that's holding you back. Where is that thing holding you back in other areas of your life? At
work and with friendships.
Yeah. Even if it's just intimacy in your relationship, right? Because relationships aren't just about sex. Yeah. But because people are willing to take a workshop to get better at sex, we can, be clever and sneak in the relationship stuff because you're relating. And to have identified those things that hold you back, which may also be holding you back in work and whatever, those pieces, when you work on them, whether you work on them in sex or in other areas, they're huge. I think they just kind of filter through or trickle down into all of your life. Yeah,
and I think it's really powerful to make it conscious and be aware of how much of an impact it would have. Writing out how your sex life would be different, it gives you impetus. Wow, this would really help me. And then a lot of times we have trouble thinking of solutions for ourselves for big things we have. And one thing I like to do with my clients is I say, if they have a daughter or a nephew or a niece or a best friend, someone who's a little younger than them usually brings out that kind of problem solving thing. What would you tell them if your niece came to you and said, hey, I'm having a problem with confidence around intimacy, what could I do? And then often we come up with some solutions or at least directions we can start going, I could take a class, I could talk to a therapist, I could read a book, I could watch some YouTube videos on having more confidence. It's not that we always know the answer, but we at least have ideas where we can go. Versus when it's an internal problem, we tend to feel that, at least I do often, that frozen, oh my God, this is a problem, I don't know how to move forward. But if I put it for someone else, hey, this person I love that I want to help, oh, okay, well, let's go watch some YouTube videos together. At least get an idea. There's some good books out there. The Amazon, 5,000 people said this was a good book. Let's read it. Just to kind of break the freeze response we often have.
Yeah, there's an audio, you find a good book. This is also just useful if you're adult learning style. If you listen to a lot of podcasts or talk radio, then finding those relationship books that can be really useful, and then getting them an audiobook, that can help because then that's the thing you're listening to when you're driving in the car. A lot of my online programs have audio versions of the videos so that you can listen, and podcast versions where I go deeper into things so that you can listen and get this information in your brain so you can start thinking about it, so you can start marinating in it. Not everything has to be, a 16-hour cram session for your relationships, and some people learn well in seminars, like going away somewhere, away from the having to take the kids to soccer practice, and taking a weekend retreat or seminar where you're learning stuff and doing exercises and then taking a break and having dinner and then letting it sit in your head. For other people, like those weekends are the beginning of changing your life.
Yeah.
Those retreats. So as you start to figure out those things that are holding you back, the next step is leveraging your adult learning style with the experience that's going to start letting all that stuff percolate and let you start to make progress without throwing you completely into overwhelm and shutdown, right? Because you don't have to, on the Sex 10X weekend, we joked about, baby steps. Like, don't try to get the entire butt plug in on the first shot, right? Like, go slow and ease into things. And then when you start nerding out on, like, confidence, and if that was your focus, and you're, reaching out for all these different resources and ways of learning, where you get to in a year of constantly exposing yourself to confidence stuff might be dramatically different than if you never tackled confidence.
Yeah, and 10 years later, you're looking back and going,
what's wrong with me? I'm broken.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even identify that it was the confidence piece that was your biggest...
And one of the things I've done is, because confidence and self-care and self-respect are something I want to work on, I've created a game where people can improve their self-love. Mm-hmm. And it's a fun way to walk through and have daily exercises that are playful. So if you're interested, go to theintimacydojo.com/self-love-game. And if they want to go into your 3-day...
Yep, the 3-day retreat, which is coming up in a couple of months, is highperformancerelationshipmastery.com.
Yeah.
Where you can get your relationships to perform better.
Yeah.
Master it. And then check out Cathy's game because it's really fun.
Thanks, everyone.